Eric never expected his life to change overnight. He was just a regular guy living in a small apartment on the edge of New Houston. His days were spent fixing old machines at a repair shop, and his nights were filled with cheap dinners and watching old space documentaries. He didn't have much, but he was used to it. One cloudy morning, everything changed. A strange man in a silver suit arrived at his door. The man held out a shiny black tablet and said, "Are you Eric Tanner?" "Yeah," Eric replied, wiping his hands on his greasy shirt. "You've been named in the will of your uncle, Jonathan Tanner." "Please sign here," Eric blinked. "My Uncle Jonathan? I haven't heard from him in years. People said he disappeared into deep space." "He did," the man said. "But before he vanished, he left behind a will, and everything he owned now belongs to you." Eric hesitated, then signed the tablet. Within an hour, Eric was inside a sleek shuttle heading to the orbital spaceport. The ship took off smoothly, and Eric stared out the window as Earth grew smaller below him. He had so many questions. Where had his uncle gone? What exactly had he left behind? When the shuttle docked with a private station orbiting Jupiter, Eric was escorted through shiny metal halls to a grand room with glass walls showing the stars. Standing in front of him were two tall women, both clearly not human. One had silver blue skin, with long black hair tied into braids. Her golden eyes watched him carefully. She wore a long robe with glowing lines running across the fabric. The other woman had deep purple skin and short, spiky green hair. Her smile was wide and her eyes sparkled with mischief. She wore a short jacket, tight pants, and boots that clicked loudly on the floor. "Greetings, husband," the purple-skinned woman said with a wink. Eric's jaw dropped. "I'm sorry." "What?" The silver-blue one stepped forward and bowed slightly. "By galactic law, we are your legal spouses. Your uncle signed a bonding contract with our houses. When he passed, the bond passed to you." "This has to be a mistake," Eric muttered, looking around. "No mistake," the purple one said cheerfully. "You're stuck with us now." "Names?" Eric asked, trying to stay calm. The silver-blue woman nodded. "I am Solari of the Talon House." "And I'm Kira," the purple one said. "Just Kira. I don't like houses." They explained that Jonathan Tanner had built a powerful trading empire across several star systems. He had formed alliances with alien families, signing peace and marriage contracts to protect his ships and his fortune. When Jonathan died without a direct heir, Eric, being the closest living relative, inherited everything including the contracts. Eric sat down slowly, rubbing his forehead. "I was just fixing a toaster yesterday." Solari's voice was calm. "You are now one of the richest humans in the Outer Belt. You also have responsibilities, and a very cool ship," Kira added. "Come on, we'll show you." They led him to a private hangar where a large silver ship sat docked. Its surface shimmered in the dim light, and strange symbols glowed near the hatch. It wasn't like any ship Eric had seen on Earth. "Your uncle's personal ship," Solari said. "Now yours." As they stepped aboard, Eric noticed the ship was strangely quiet. No buzzing machines or loud engines, just a soft hum in the walls. The control room was round, with 3 chairs, floating screens, and a holographic globe in the center showing nearby systems. "Does it even fly?" Eric asked. "Like a dream," Kira said, hopping into one of the chairs. "Your uncle upgraded everything?" "This baby runs on a hybrid drive system, faster than anything in the sector." Solari touched the console gently. He also left encrypted files. "We believe they are hidden in the main core. We haven't opened them yet." "Why not?" Eric asked. "Because the system is locked by your uncle's DNA, and now only you can open it," Solari replied. Eric leaned back, still trying to take it all in. One day, he was repairing broken vacuums. The next, he was sitting on a powerful alien ship with 2 alien wives and a mystery from a missing uncle. Kira leaned closer to him. "So, Captain, what do we do now?" Eric looked at the stars shining through the window. Didn't have an answer yet. Something told him his life was never going to be simple again. Eric woke up the next day inside his uncle's ship. The bed was too soft, the room too clean, and everything around him still felt like a dream. When he sat up, the walls lit up gently, reacting to his movement. He dressed and stepped into the hallway. The ship didn't feel like metal. It felt warm, almost like a home. Lights followed his steps, and the air smelled faintly of flowers in the main room.
Ow.
Kira was upside down on the couch, her legs hanging over the top, while she juggled strange, glowing orbs. Solari stood by a screen, reading something quietly. Morning. Husband, Kira said with a grin. Sleep well? Still getting used to all this? Eric said, rubbing his eyes. Solari turned and nodded. Understandable, your life changed quickly, you think. Eric muttered. Sitting down, Kira tossed one orb at him. He fumbled and caught it. It floated slightly in his hand. What is this? He asked. Just a toy, Kira said. Helps. With balance and thinking, we use them for focus training. Eric placed it on the table. So, ... what do we do now? First, Solari said, we visit the estate bank to confirm the transfer. After that, you decide what to do with the assets, the ship routes, and ... us. What do you mean you? Eric asked. Your uncle made us part of the contract, Kira said. It wasn't love. It was duty. Now that he's gone, you're the legal partner. We can stay, leave, or renegotiate, so you don't have to stick around. Not unless we want to, Kira replied with a shrug. Eric looked between them. Do you want to? Solari studied his face. You are kind. Unsure, but honest. I believe it is worth seeing what you become. Kira stretched and smiled. I like you already. And this ship's fun, so why not? Eric let out a breath. Then let's take this one step at a time. They flew to the estate bank station, orbiting Saturn. The station was massive, filled with flashing lights, floating signs, and all kinds of beings walking the halls. Tall creatures with 3 legs, glowing aliens that floated instead of walked, and even robotic life forms that buzzed softly as they passed. The bank agent, a round gray creature with 4 eyes, scanned Eric's identity chip and bowed. Welcome. Heir of Jonathan Tanner, it said. Your access is confirmed. Assets are ready. Screens lit up showing long lists of properties, bank accounts, space routes, cargo ships, and private security systems. Eric's head spun. He owned ... all this. Eric asked. And more, the agent replied. But be warned, there are debts, contracts, and hidden items. Hidden items. The agent pointed to a blinking folder. Unregistered holdings? Possibly sealed by encryption. Solari leaned closer. These could be important. Your uncle was not a simple man, so I've heard, Eric muttered. After signing more documents, Eric was officially the owner of the Tanner estate. His uncle had built an empire, and now Eric was the one standing at its center. They returned to the ship, and Celery went straight to work on decrypting the sealed data. Kira cooked something in the small kitchen, and Eric sat by the window. Watching the stars, you ever think? He asked Kira. What if I mess this up? She handed him a bowl of soup. Then we help you fix it. Simple, you make it sound easy. It's not, she said, sitting beside him, but we're not alone. The ship beeped softly, and Solari called them to the command deck. Opened one of the hidden files, she said. It's a map. Not to a planet, but to a person. A person, Eric asked. A woman named Rhea. Your uncle met her often, the file says. If anything happens to me, she knows where the truth is hidden. The truth about what? Solari shook her head. I don't know, but she may hold answers. Where is she? Kira asked. Say Leia, I pointed to a system far outside the main trade routes. A quiet moon near the outer belt. Then that's our next stop, Eric said. They set a course and jumped into hyperspace. The stars stretched, the ship rumbled softly, and time folded around them. When they arrived, the moon was small and covered in thick fog. They landed on a platform hidden behind rocky hills. As they stepped out, cold wind blew across their faces. Eric pulled his jacket tighter. Solari scanned the area with a small device. Life signs ahead, she said. They walked carefully down a narrow path until they reached a small house made of metal and stone. A woman stood at the doorway, her eyes sharp and glowing faintly green. You're not Jonathan, she said. He's gone, Eric said. I'm his nephew. She stared at him for a long moment, then opened the door. Come in. There's something you need to see. The house was filled with old books, maps, and strange gadgets. Rhea placed a metal cube on the table. She tapped it, and a hologram appeared. Jonathan Tanner's face. If you're seeing this, the message began, then I'm gone, and the truth must be passed on. Eric leaned closer as the image continued. Years ago, I discovered something. Not treasure, not power, but a secret that could change the way the galaxy runs. Something buried, something forgotten, something others would kill to hide. The message ended there. The rest was locked with a passcode. Rhea looked at Eric. Trusted you to finish what he started. Eric didn't know what he felt. Fear, confusion, maybe a little excitement. All he knew was that this journey was only beginning. Rhea watched Eric with calm eyes as he stared at the glowing cube. The message from his uncle still echoed in his mind. Something others would kill to hide. Those words didn't sound like treasure or a business secret. They sounded like danger. Do you know what he meant? Eric asked. Rhea walked over to a shelf and picked up a small metal disc. Your uncle was hunting old knowledge, things the galaxy forgot or chose to bury. He believed one piece of truth could shake everything. And now I'm holding that mess. You're not alone, Solari said gently, standing by his side. Kira nodded, flipping the disc in her hand. We're already in deep. We'll see where it goes. Rhea smiled faintly. Would have liked you. But this path isn't easy. Once you unlock that message, someone might come looking. Eric looked down at the cube. It had a small round port, just big enough for a fingertip. Do it, Rhea said. He pressed his finger into the slot. The cube scanned his DNA and unlocked. With a soft click, second message played. Eric the hologram said, I wish we'd had time. The secret is called Core Origin. It's not a place. It's a system buried in galactic coda false record. Something hidden in all central databases. It changes the truth about humanity's place in the galaxy. It proves we were here long. Before the others thought we arrived. Everyone in the room stood silent. How? Eric whispered. Jonathan's message continued. The real proof is in a storage vault on Dyro 6. Encrypted, protected, and dangerous. If you go, be careful. Not everyone wants this truth found. But I believe you can finish what I started. The hologram faded. Rhea sat down slowly. Dyro 6 is not a safe world. It's under control of the Galactic Core Council. High risk. What's stored there? Solari asked. Ancient data, Rhea said. Hidden files erased from history. If Jonathan stored something there, he must have had access codes or old council clearance. Eric nodded slowly. We'll go there. You'll need help, Rhea added. She handed him a small chip. This unlocks a hidden route through the drift sector. It's old, unstable, but it's the only way to reach Dyro 6 without being tracked. They returned to the ship and placed the chip into the navigation console. A glowing map unfolded. In front of them, showing a narrow route through strange gravitational fields and collapsed stars. It's not a smooth flight, Kira said, studying the path. But we can make it. Solari adjusted the course. Engines ready, shields set, prepare for jump. They launched into the drift sector. The ship trembled as it passed through twisting energy waves. Stars looked stretched and broken, and strange shadows danced in the void. Hold steady, Solari said, her hands moving across the controls. Eric gripped his seat. Remind me again why we didn't take the safe route? Because the safe route would have 20 patrol ships waiting, Kira replied with a grin. Suddenly a warning beeped. A ship was following them. How? This path is supposed to be hidden, Eric shouted. Someone else has the route, Solari said. Or they followed the signal from the cube. Pirates, worse, Kira said, eyes narrowing. Core shadows. Unofficial agents. They work off-record for the council. If they're here, they know what we're doing. The ship shook as laser fire struck their rear shield. We can't fight them, Solari said. But we can lose them. Kira flipped a few switches. Hang on. The ship dove into a gravity well, riding the current like a surfer on a giant wave. Metal groaned. Alarms blared. "If we survive this," Eric muttered, "I'm buying a planet and retiring." The ship burst out the other side of the gravity field. The enemy ship followed, but not fast enough. It was pulled off course by the unstable field and vanished behind a broken asteroid belt. "Lost them," Solari said with relief. "For now," Kira added. They reached Dyro 6 3 hours later. The planet was gray and cold, with sharp mountains and floating rock islands. "We land quietly," Solari said. "Going fast. Get what we need. No hero stuff." The storage vault was hidden inside a cliff wall, covered by old mining equipment. Solari scanned the entrance and found the hidden door. Eric placed his uncle's ring on a scanner, and the door opened with a hiss. Inside, the air was dry and smelled like rust. Rows of metal crates lined the walls. Some were sealed, others broken. They walked slowly through the vault, scanning each crate. "Here," Kira said, pointing at a black box marked with Jonathan's old trade symbol. Eric opened it. Inside was a small device glowing with blue light. "Say LAR." I read the markings. "This isn't just a data core. It's an origin seed." "What's that?" "It holds genetic, historical, and cultural memory from a species. Only ancient races use them. This one is human." "But humans weren't part of the oldest races," Eric said. "That's the lie," Solari whispered. "This proves humans didn't arrive late to the stars," Kira added. "We were part of the first ones, maybe even the builders."
Oh.
"The Council's been hiding this?" Solari nodded. "If this goes public, everything changes. Laws, alliances, power. It would shake the galaxy." Before Eric could answer, the vault lights flickered. Footsteps echoed from outside. "They found us," Kira said. "Get the seed," Solari ordered. They grabbed the device and ran back through the tunnels. Behind them, shadows moved. Silent agents with black armor and glowing eyes. Back on the ship, they launched into the sky, dodging fire as they rose. One shot struck near the engine, but the ship held strong. "Destination?" Solari asked. Eric stared at the seed in his hand. "Somewhere safe? Then we figure out how to share this ... the right way." The ship vanished into the stars, carrying 3 souls and 1 truth that could change the galaxy forever. The ship flew through deep space, quiet and tense.
Nice.
Inside, the lights were dim, and the crew kept their voices low. Eric sat in the command chair, holding the glowing seed device in both hands. It was small, round, and warm, like it had a heart. Beating inside Selah, I checked the navigation while Kira patched up the damage to the ship's engine. "They almost caught us," Eric said. Selah nodded. "We were lucky. Core shadows don't give up easily. They'll keep searching." "How did they even know where we were?" "The moment you activated the seed signal," she explained, "someone must have picked it up. These devices were never meant to be used in secret." Kira entered the room, wiping her hands. "Repairs are done for now. Engine will hold, but we need a proper fix soon." Eric stood up. "We need a place to hide. Not just for us, but for this thing." He held up the seed. "If the Council wants it buried, we can't take it to just any planet." Solari pulled up a map. "I know a place. A dead system with no population. Old ruins, but good cover. Off every trade path." "Sounds perfect," Kira said. "Like hiding in ruins." "Set the course," Eric said. As the ship jumped into hyperspace, Eric sat back down and thought about his uncle. Jonathan Tanner had lived among aliens, built a fortune, and kept a galaxy-changing secret. Now Eric was holding the key to something that could rewrite history. When they reached the dead system, it was exactly as Solari described. The planet was dark, with a cracked surface and deep canyons. Old stone buildings stood silent under the pale light of a red sun. No signs of life, no signals. Perfect for hiding. They landed near the edge of a ruined city. The wind blew dust over the broken stones as they stepped out. "This place gives me chills," Kira said, looking around. "It's forgotten," Solari replied. "That makes it safe." They brought the seed device into a small stone building with thick walls. Inside, They found a working power node and connected the seed. Blue light filled the room, and a soft hum began to vibrate in the air. "It's reading us," Solari said. "Learning our languages, checking our DNA." The device projected an image. It was an old map of the galaxy, but different. Human. Settlements were marked in places where no human history mentioned them. "This proves it," Solari whispered. "Humans were part of the early galactic era. Why would the Council hide this?" Eric asked. "Because it changes everything," she said. The Council formed based on the belief that humans were newcomers, weak, young, and in need of guidance. If they were wrong, Kira added, then humans were never under them. They were equals, ... maybe even leaders. "And this seed proves that?" Eric asked. "Yes," Solari answered. "With the right knowledge, we can wake up ancient systems and show the whole galaxy what really happened." "So what's stopping us?" Kira asked. "The shadows," Solari said. "They'll come again. We need help." "From who?" Eric asked. "Who would even believe us?" Kira smiled. "I know someone who likes causing trouble. She runs a pirate station near the Jagged Belt. Not exactly legal, but she hates the Council more than most." "A pirate?" Eric said. "Don't worry," Kira replied. "She owes me a favor." They left the planet quickly and jumped toward the Jagged Belt. The pirate station was hidden inside a broken moon, surrounded by wrecked ships and asteroid debris. It didn't look friendly, but they landed without trouble. Kira led them into the station. Loud music played through the halls, and aliens of all kinds laughed, argued, and traded shiny goods. They passed through a smoky bar to a quiet room in the back. A tall woman with red eyes and metal armor stood up from her seat. She had sharp teeth and a blaster on each hip. "Kira," she said, grinning, "you're alive." "You sound disappointed," Kira replied. "Depends on why you're here." "We need help," Kira said. "Something big, something worth your time." They showed her the seed. The pirate's smile faded. "Do you know what you're holding?" she asked. "Do you?" Rick replied. "Enough to know the Council would. Erase anyone who even speaks of it." "We're not asking you to fight them," Solari said. "Just to help us send the truth out. To make sure people see it." The pirate woman walked around the table, thinking. Finally, she said, "If you have a message ready, I can boost it. But once it's out, you'll be hunted everywhere. No safe port, no protection. You understand?" Eric said. "Then I'll help. For Kira and for the chaos." They returned to the ship and recorded a message using Eric's voice. He spoke clearly, simply showing the map from the seed and the proof it carried. "My name is Eric Tanner," he said. "My uncle found something the galaxy needs to see. Not for power, not for war, but for truth. Humans were part of this galaxy from the beginning. The Council hid it. We won't." They sent the message using the pirate station's deep broadcast system, a signal strong enough to reach hundreds of systems in minutes. Then they waited. Within hours, replies came in. Confusion, anger, support, denial. People were watching. But they weren't the only ones listening. As the signal spread, ships moved in space. Dark ships, fast ships. The Council had heard the truth and they were coming. Eric sat quietly in the ship's control room, staring at the blinking lights on the screen. Each light was a reply from a different world. Some were messages of support. Others were warnings. Many were just questions, say Lar. Read the signals carefully. Some planets believe us. A few are sharing the data. Some are scared to even respond. That's expected, Kira said. No one wants to go against the Council openly. The truth is spreading, Eric said. That's what matters. Solari nodded. Yes, but the Council won't stay silent. They'll strike back. As if to answer her words, a warning alarm beeped on the screen. Unknown ships had entered the system fast, armed, headed straight for them. Core Shadow, Solari said, voice tense. They found us, Kira. Jumped into the pilot seat. Then we'd better move. The ship lifted off just as the first. Enemy blasts hit the surface behind them. Dust and rocks flew up from the ground, shaking the whole building they had just left. Shields holding, Kira said. For now, we can't outrun them forever, Solari added. They're faster, better armed. Then we need help, Eric said. What about the people who believed our message? Solari tapped the console. There are a few who sent encrypted replies. One is from a free system called Navari. They're not under council rule. Can they fight? Kira asked. They have defense ships. And more importantly, they have a voice. If they speak out, others will follow. Set course to Navari, Eric said. We make our stand there. They jumped into hyperspace, leaving the enemy ships behind, at least for the moment. As they traveled, Eric thought about how fast his life had changed. He wasn't just the nephew of a rich trader anymore. He was now the carrier of a truth the galaxy tried to bury, Lar. I watched him as he sat in silence. You're doing well, she said softly. This path is not easy. I never asked for any of this, Eric said. None of us did, Solari replied. But now that you're here, you're doing what your uncle hoped. Kira entered with 3 mugs of something hot and sweet. You need energy if we're going into talks and maybe a battle. Thanks, Eric said, taking a sip. What if Navari says no? Then we run again, Kira said. I don't think they will. They're known for standing up when others don't. They arrived at the Navari system hours later. The planet below was green and full of rivers and mountains. Space stations floated above the surface, glowing with blue lights. A message came through. Identify yourself. Eric stepped forward. This is Eric Tanner. We sent a message with data that proves humanity's early role in the galaxy. We seek protection and a place to speak. There was silence for a moment, then a reply. We received your message. Land at Station 9. No weapons. Come peacefully. They followed the directions and landed on the main platform. A group of alien and human leaders waited inside the meeting hall. The room was large, with banners from different free systems hanging on the walls. An older woman with gray skin and golden eyes stepped forward. I am High Speaker Elna. We reviewed your data. If it is true, the galaxy must hear it. It is true, Eric said. We have the seed and proof. They connected the seed device to a central table. The map of early human settlements and lost history glowed in the air. Whispers filled the room. The council will come for this, one leader said. They already did, Kira replied. We barely escaped. We want to help, Speaker, Ilna said, but we must be ready. Council won't fight with words. As she spoke, alarms rang across the station. A fleet of council ships had entered orbit. They followed us, Solari said. They're not here to talk. Speaker Ilna turned to her officers. Activate the shields. Prepare defense grid. Outside, the sky turned red as ships moved into battle positions. Lasers and missiles lit the space above Navari. Eric stood at the window, heart racing. We caused this. No, Solari said. They did. By hiding the truth, you're just shining a light, Kira added. Fighter ships launched from the station, meeting the council fleet head-on. Explosions filled the sky as the battle began. Inside, Eric made a choice. We can't just watch. We have to help. He returned to the ship with Solari and Kira. They loaded the defense program Jonathan had hidden in the ship's system, a shield breaker pulse made to weaken heavy. Council armor. Ready? Kira asked, her hand on the trigger. Do it, Eric said. The ship fired the pulse. In seconds, several enemy ships lost power and floated helplessly. Navari's fighters moved fast, disabling them without full destruction. Cheers rose from the station. The tide had turned. The remaining council ships pulled back. They couldn't win this time. Hours later, after the skies cleared, Speaker Elna returned to Eric. You've done something powerful. The galaxy is watching. What now? Eric asked. We send the truth to every system, together. Eric nodded. For the first time since this all began, he didn't feel lost. He felt ready. Ships drifted in space above the green planet, many damaged, and others powered down. Emergency crews worked fast, pulling injured pilots from wreckage and securing the station's outer walls. Even though Navari's fleet had won, everyone knew. This was only the beginning. Inside the main command center, Eric stood in front of a large galactic map with Solari and Kira beside him. Glowing red lights showed areas under Council control. Only a few small blue dots marked the free systems. That had responded to Eric's message. "It's not enough," Eric said. "Even with Navari, we can't stand against the Council alone." "It's true," Solari said, "but the seed has reached many eyes." "More systems may speak soon, some are afraid," Kira added. "But fear doesn't last forever. Truth has a way of spreading." Just then, Speaker El-Na entered the room. She looked tired but calm. "We've received more replies. 5 new systems have confirmed the data. They're sending delegates." "So they believe it?" Eric asked. "Yes. And they want to know what happens next." Eric looked down at the glowing seed resting in its protective case. It had started all of this, a small object that carried ancient knowledge now, changing the galaxy. "We hold a council," Eric said. "Not theirs. Ours. One built on truth." "Meeting of free systems," Solari said. "That hasn't happened in a long time. We can host it here," Ilna said. "But you'll need to lead it, Eric. They trust you now." "Me?" Eric blinked. "I'm just a mechanic who got lucky." "No," Kira said, smiling. "You're a voice that didn't stay quiet." Ilna nodded. "You're the heir of Jonathan Tanner. You carry the truth. Whether you like it or not, people are listening to you." Eric took a deep breath. He had never imagined he would speak for entire worlds, but if he didn't, who would? "Okay," he said. "Let's prepare." Over the next few days, ships from different systems arrived at Navari. They came in all shapes and colors, from small trade ships to royal cruisers. Flags and banners hung from the docks. Translators worked non-stop. Food halls filled with beings from a dozen worlds. Inside the Great Hall, circular room with high ceilings, the new council gathered. There were humans, aliens, androids, even a few species Eric had never seen before. The seeds map floated in the air. Rotating slowly, Eric stood at the center. "You all saw the message," he said. "You know the truth. Humans were not just newcomers. We were part of the first age of stars. The Council erased our history. They built their power on a lie." The room stayed quiet. "I'm not asking for war," Eric continued. "I'm asking for a choice. Let us be equals. It's not ruled, not controlled. We want peace, but we won't live under silence." A tall being with blue skin and 4 arms stood up. "What if the Council attacks again?" "They will," Solari said. "But this time, we'll be ready together." Another voice spoke. "What if the truth causes chaos?" "The truth brings change," Kira said, "not chaos. Hiding it is what causes fear." The room filled with low voices. Some nodded, others looked unsure. But slowly, one by one, they agreed. A new alliance was formed. Not for power, but to protect the right to remember. They called it the Open Stars Pact. Speaker El-Na placed a symbol. On the table, it showed stars breaking through a dark wall. "This marks the beginning of a new age." The meeting ended, and the leaders returned to their ships. Not all joined, but enough did to make the galaxy take notice. Back on the ship, Eric finally had a quiet moment. He stood alone on the deck, looking out at the stars. Everything had changed. Yet somehow, he still felt like the same person. Just trying to do the right thing, Salar. I walked up beside him. "You did well today. I didn't expect any of this," he said softly. "You carried something heavy, and you didn't drop it." Kira joined them, holding a datapad. The new symbol is already trending across 1,000 channels. Even some council worlds are asking questions. "They'll try to stop it," Solari warned. "They'll send more ships." "Let them come," Kira said. "This time we won't run." Eric turned to both of them. "You stayed with me when you didn't have to." "Thank you. Chose to," Solari said. "And it's been fun," Kira added with a grin. Eric smiled. "So what now?" Solari replied. "Now we protect the Alliance, keep the seed safe, and we prepare for what's next." "And maybe," Kira said, "you finally learn how to fly this ship?" They laughed together as the stars drifted outside the window, but far away. In the dark corners of council space, eyes were watching. The truth was out, and the final battle had not yet begun.